makes an American want to take responsibility for his own or her own personal safety and precious freedom? I had to find out, hence this film.
So if you get your license, then the state of Ohio is going to allow you to carry this concealed. That means secret, secret agent. You can carry a fully loaded handgun about yourself, your pocketbook, your boot, coat, boat, bicycle, motorcycle, truck, on you. To me, that's a blessing. It's a privilege, it's a right. I can carry this thing anywhere I want to, fully loaded, and I feel confident I can use it, and if I have to use it, I certainly will. The Constitution of the United States of America gives you the right to carry a gun anywhere other than where it's illegal, any kind of a gun. The attack is coming now on the Second Amendment. Okay. Probably his age, he's probably going to have his gun rights curtailed to the point that it's going to be draconian, probably. You know, I see it coming. When I was a kid, everybody had a gun. You took them to school with you. I was hillbilly, so we hunted. You know, we didn't necessarily have to hunt, but if you didn't hunt, you didn't have meat. Generations now, my children's age, your children's age now, have no desire for handguns, rifles or shotguns. They don't care about them. They don't want to know about them. They don't want to see, hear, touch. They don't want anything to do with them. And what's going to happen is a year or 2 or 3 or 4 years from now, when the government starts saying you can't, you can't, you can't, no one's going to stand up. So, you know, we as law-abiding citizens, you need to actively voice and show support for your Constitution. You really need to. Even if you dislike the NRA, you need to be joining. Who else is up in the newspaper and in Congress's face every day? Do you see the ACLU? No. You seeing them do it? No. Politicians only listen to the people who's talking to them. That's the only people they listen to. See that? So you've got to be politically active to keep them aware of your thoughts and processes. They're arresting. I don't mean going in and taking little Susie off to the side, little 5-year-old, saying, you know, why you got your butter knife in your lunch bag? They're actually bringing cops to the school and putting 5-year-old girls in handcuffs and take them to the police station and charging them for having butter knives in their lunch bag. And then you got groups that suing the schools because they got a picture of him up on the wall. And over here now you've got this white robe society where the children's not allowed to say, I'm going to hit you in the nose if you don't leave me alone. Or Johnny's drawing a picture of an airplane flying through the air because it's a threat. I mean, that's what we're heading to. It's white robe society. We'll all be walking around and going, be perfect utopia. What do you see on this? I want you to study that. See that right there in the camera. People actually called in and complained to the messenger about this. You know, you got these little babies on the playground, but, you know, just being girls, then you got them surrounded by 5 felons.
Yep.
See, but this is what's happening here. It's nationwide, but it's so much more prevalent in southeastern Ohio. And, you know, I don't know if any of you have ever done heroin, but right now, you can buy a balloon for $4. What's 20? Now it's 4. $4 bucks. That's a buzz. You know, they do 2 or 3 of those a day, and then they're cutting your air conditioners off the back of your house, or busting in the church, or, you know, busting the window out of your car, hunting for pocketbooks and stuff. And they go sell the shit, and then boom, 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 they're shooting up. And this one's neat. Neighbors smelt these weird chemicals floating through the air out in the country of all places. Called 911, deputies showed up, and they found a methamphetamine laboratory going on. See, so the bad people don't want to work. One of the guys that's going to come out here to help me, how he got involved with the guns, is he's a city slicker. He came here from the big city. moved out into the country, and he got in a conversation with his neighbor and said, I don't see the police around here very often. And the neighbor was like, what are you talking about? And he said, well, I'm from Cleveland, and you see a cop every 2 or 3 minutes. And he said, buddy, you're in the country. So he's like, well, when do they come? And he said, well, maybe tomorrow if you're lucky. You know, which is the truth. And he's like, so if something happened, what do you do? And he said, well, you get yourself a gun. And you protect your home, and you protect your family, you protect yourself. So he went to the gun store, and he had no idea what he's doing. He'd never seen a gun, he never touched a gun. Dumbass behind the counter said, hey, you better buy this. So he bought it, took it home and shot it, and it freaked him out. It just absolutely freaked him out because of the noise, the concussion, the pounding in his hand. It flew out of his hand, scared him to death. So he just absolutely scared him to death. So he told his wife, I can't do this, I gotta have education. So they searched us out. You know, we trained him properly. He still trains with me often. If somebody comes up to you and beats you near death, you have a partner or a wife or a boyfriend or family, so they come into your house and they beat you almost to death. Then they tell her, your wife, I'm going to rape you. And then they go over and tell this 16-year-old kid, I'm going to take you outside in the driveway and drag you up and down inside the car in the parking lot. They ain't going to send him to prison. Right there. They come to your house. They come to your house, son, in the middle of the night. Okay? They run over you in the gas station, bud. They don't go to prison anymore. It's right here.
For anything?
Nothing. Unless it's a first or second degree felony. Fourth, fifth, and third degree felony offenders do not fall under the categories mentioned above. They can get 1 year community service, 18 months community control. It's because the governor don't want to spend your money and put them in prison. Okay, all firearms are the same. Okay, they all have a barrel, a muzzle, a trigger, a sight, something to hold on to it with, a grip. This is a semi-automatic pistol. Okay. Semi-automatic, all it means is you just pull the trigger and it will go boom. It is exactly the same as this gun right here. Other than this gun, doesn't have a magazine, it has a cylinder to put your ammunition in. There's no difference. Okay? They can lay there until hell froze over and that gun will never do anything. Okay? They don't do anything until you go boom. Concealed carry, you need to have the best quality hollow point ammunition your gun will eat and have it in the gun. Where does Americans get 99% of their gun and crime education?
TV.
TV, every day, every day, every night. Okay. How many of us ever shot a human? Okay. How many times when you shoot a human, they go down dead the first time you shoot them? How many times?
Probably not.
Probably
No.
zero.
No. Pisses them off. Pisses them off. Unless you shoot them right there, center body mass, with a 45 or larger, or the hollow point, you might put them down.
About in the head.
Well, you better shoot 50,000 rounds a year so you can shoot them in the head.
How accurate is a 9mm? How far away?
More accurate than a human can handle. You don't want to shoot no further than here in that door with a pistol anyway. You don't
That's
want
what,
to shoot.
about 20 feet?
Now, why would you? Why would you? How you going to prove it?
It might be running away from you.
Oh, you run away or they run away.
They're running away, you better have to be.
Then you're going to go to prison. You shoot somebody running away. Okay, so always keep your gun pointed in the safe direction. Are we safe? Well, what about this? Is it safe?
No,
No.
Okay. Well, what is safe?
Out to the side.
it's a holster.
Well, what is safe? You got one? Got an answer for it?
You're
This way?
correct. Well.
What you talking about? This way. Which one?
So,
There is
not
no
this way.
safe direction.
Mhm.
No such thing. There is no such thing. Okay. No such thing as a safe direction. If you got your finger in and around that trigger. We're going to teach you how to shoot a gun today. We have 4 positions. This is called draw or break. Comes out of your holster. Okay? Draw or break. Comes out of your pocketbook. Comes out of your pants. Still called draw or break. Your first shot's right here today. Boom. Right there. Don't have time to full round. As soon as it comes out, boom. That's number 1. Number 2 is called low mount ready position. It's right here at your belly button or your ghost. That's your second shot. Your third position's here. You're locked up, elbows on the body. You can see the sights. And then 4 is locked out. This is what you'll do today. What did the company do that owns almost all of our guns, manufacturing, parts manufacturing, ammunition manufacturing, and military armaments? What did that company do the very next day after the slaughter of the babies in Connecticut?
Increase production.
It worries me sometimes. People come in here and train. They said, we're going to sell out. What do you think's going to happen if the Chinese end up buying them out? What are you going to do about your guns then? You know what I mean? We got a mess on this in this country. So I'm telling you, I'm saying right now, folks, you take anything out of this room today, you better go start buying ammunition. You got one gun, that's all you need. This some will last you for 100 years, take care of it. Okay. But if you don't have any ammo shoot in it, and they start cracking down on what they're going to crack, and all the dudes like me are saying they're going to come to get the ammo first. Right across the border over here in Illinois, you go buy ammunition now, you got to have a permit. Can't go buy it anymore in Illinois. You got to have a permit.
Can't carry a gun there either.
Can't carry a gun anymore. You got to have a permit to go buy ammo. So what happens to a bullet is it's an explosive device. Okay, this part right here is called the casing. Ignorance, arrogance, carelessness, and pride. Can you have more than one of those at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Can you? Mm-hmm. Sure you can. How many of you has ever heard about, we don't hear too much about it now, but guys going hunting, putting shotgun on a fence, climbing over the fence, shotgun falls and blows their head off. Any of you ever heard that happen? Quite common. Used to be. They're so full of information, you know, that they can't be given anymore. They can't learn anymore. You know, they're ignorant to the fact that their finger's on the trigger. You know, if the muzzle's pointing towards you, you know, you're carrying a gun, you're drunk, you know, you're driving too fast, you wreck, and gun flies off the seat and hits cigarette lighter or the knob or something, hits trigger, shoots you in the back of the head. You know, anything could cause an accident. Ignorance, arrogance, carelessness, pride. Case in point, judge is up in Columbus, Delaware, here about 5-6 years ago. Judge is cleaning his rifle. Wife sitting over in the living room. Judge was cleaning his rifle. Oh, gun went off, killed the wife. Oh, such a damn shame. Was he ignorant? Was he careless? Was he prideful? Or was he arrogant? He was none of them. He's a murderer. Simple as that. So if you melt down today, don't worry about it. Just say, I need time by myself. You or an instructor or 2 instructors just come out and we'll calm you down and get you through.
So if we say screw you, you ain't gonna get mad at us.
No, because we know that, we just know. Okay. I've been teaching this stuff for 40 years. We just know. Okay. So what happens here is, everybody hop up there, please. This is called train wreck. This is due to operator error. This is due to limp-wristed technique. Okay. What happens is that one goes off and the other one pops up in there. Okay. There have been instances where guns have blown up because now you got bullet hitting bullet, cartridge hitting cartridge. A new gun will get you killed. New gun probably won't slide back. It should, but it might not. So what happens is the gun's out of battery, the gun's staying wide open, and you don't know it. Okay? And then you panic. So you're in a shootout, you're f***ing up, you're missing. Now all of a sudden you don't realize that your gun's locked back. Oh, I gotta get a new magazine. Gotta get it, the gun's gotta go back in the battle. Okay? So you're gonna have different issues with your handgun today. Then all of a sudden you hear the back door kicked open. Where's your gun?
In the bedroom.
Where's your gun? Where's your ammo? Where's your flashlight?
Oh.
Bam! 15 seconds later, the back door kicks in. That is through a concrete block through the front windshield. And right beside you. Right beside you. Right there. Right there. You got kids in the house. You got to explain to them, don't f*** up, don't touch this thing. Don't ever let me see you around it. I'll beat you to death. And I mean it. And that's simple as that. They'll learn from that point right there. We won't beat them to death, but you'll beat them so they wish it was dead. Let's try that. They need to be right there. How many people in this room wear glasses? See, when's the last time that you trained with a handgun in the dark without your glasses? That's what I thought. Okay? So you see where we're coming from? This is a very unorthodox, unusual concealed carry class. We can sit here and rap about this shit until we go to gun range, but don't have nothing to do with killing a human being with a handgun. All right, so you're going to have issues on the gun range today. The gun's going to flop around your hand. Okay, we're going to take a break here in a little bit. We're going to teach how to mount your weapon. We're going to go hot. Okay, if I catch you f***ing up, I'm going to tell you about it immediately. Okay, we don't tolerate any mistake with a firearm around any of us, anywhere, anytime. Never had a mistake, and you sure hell ain't going to start with this class, are we?
No, sir.
That's what I thought. Okay, so what I want you to do now is put your seats away, fold them up, put them out of the way somewhere so they're not encumbering us. There it is. We're going to have some coffee, man. What, you got a Glock?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. That's the best, man.
He's definitely going with real life situations, making sure it's not being candy coated, little raw and a little crass, but I think that just goes with the territory. And he's, I think, doing a great job of making sure we don't have any misconceptions about how easy this will be.
Nice guns. You haven't shot it yet, have you?
No.
You can tell that. Doesn't even have a smell to it. We're going to stink them up.
So this is your gun?
Yep.
We have one target here. It's called center body mass. Okay, you point your gun. Almost all shootings are done with the point method. All killings. 30,000 killings in America last year. 22,000 with suicide. They won't take the guns away from us. Think about it. You know what I mean? Okay, it's all done by pointing. Pointing. You just point. Point shooting. Once you point, then you aim the gun. Once you go from point, then you aim. You actually aim the gun. Once you go from aim, then you align the sights. Front sight, rear sight. Okay? So you align those. Shoot the angels, shoot yourself in the foot. This is your target today. You have to put 85% of your ammo in this today. 85% of your rounds have to go in this. Okay? You're not going to shoot the neck or the head until we tell you. So what you're going to do here is look here. I want you to look at it. Everybody come up here and snuggle up and get real warm with me. So the main thing is just put your hand right there. That's about where your heart's at. Right there. You got a wrong side heart there.
I was just calling you.
I thought we were going to sell you here to the circus. Right there. You got pound holes in the heart. Okay. You're trying to shoot center body mass. Okay. This was a passable target. See, just kept pounding. Shoot the hole, stovepipe, trigger, no prison technique. Ignorance, arrogance, carelessness, pride. Front sight, rear sight, magazine well, cartridges, primer, casings, bullets, powder. Whole bunch of stuff you got to remember between now and when you go apply for that license. And you have to shoot hundreds, if not thousands, of rounds of ammunition so you can do this. So that's what you got to overcome today. See that? If you can't make it operate, I'm not going to be able to pass you. Push pull. Okay. So what we've learned, we invented this technique, is turn your hands this way. Okay. Let me have this. Now push, and pull. Push and pull. Breathe. Hold the breath. Slow down. You have no race here. Push and pull. Okay, so what we do is we have our own collection here of dried out. It's just neat. I see a finger. It's laid there for years and just dried up. And what that is this is what's going to happen to you after we tell you a few times, shoot your finger off the trigger. As they just come up, we just pop your finger off. Bang, it's laying there on the ground. You're crying and peeing and being all baby calf, and then when you go home, like, where's your finger at, dude? Well, I wouldn't take my finger off the trigger, so the instructor cut it off to teach me to keep my finger off the trigger. It's pretty simple. You got to put the gun in your weak hand. If you got blood squirting all over the place, then you're panicking, and then you're like you don't have a trigger finger. You don't want to see any fingers on the triggers. All right, you need to space out so you're not facing each other. I don't want any human facing another human with a handgun. Turn your hand up and do it. Don't stop bad habits immediately. If you don't do push and pull, you only got half. That's it. See this? You have to do push pull. It's right hard. See that? See the difference? See how much easier to do it right? Yes. I love teaching this stuff. Yeah. And I get such enjoyment of seeing people here do this. That works perfect.
You got push.
Push pull. Let's just lock it back. Right now. Okay. Well, you've been here 4 hours. I don't think one single one of you here would be able to load your weapon, mount your weapon, and shoot a human being and kill him. Now you see the importance of push pull. Yeah. If you're not doing 50 pounds on this one and 50 pounds on this, your gun's going to take a shit. Your gun takes a shit, you're going to die. What is your backup defensive weapon system? What's your primary weapon system? Knife, gun, stick, grappling, kickboxing, what do you have? What's yours?
I'll talk you to that.
Huh? Okay, what's yours? What's yours? What's yours?
Baseball bat.
Okay, well, what if you don't have your baseball bat? What's your personal defense system? So think about this. If you can't even fist fight, if you've never even been in a fist fight in your life, if you've never been on the ground grappling in your life, then you allow the gun to become you, which is the worst thing on earth you can do. You allow the gun to become you. So I'll go get class, I'll train, I'll get a license, I'll pack this baby with me, and I don't even know how to fist fight.
You don't have to if you got a gun.
Well, what do you get if the gun don't work? I mean, think about it. Think about it. You are going to carry a deadly weapon with you, a fully loaded deadly weapon on your person with you. You're going out into the public. A fully loaded gun. So if you don't practice, and practice often, then it's just the odds are against you. See that? You bring new guns. What I say every class, bring new gun gets killed. You see that? Most of them can't get them to work. Now what we got to do is we got to load it. We got to change magazines in and out, and then we got to go to gun range. It's just going to get much more dramatic, much more stressful. That's my job. I'm going to crank it up on you to the point that you've got huge stress and huge fear. You're going to have an orgasm. Boom. About 3:30 or 4 o'clock, we'll come down off from it. Fight me. Fight me. Lock your gun out now. Fight me. See the difference. Lock your gun out. Lie down on the floor. Put your feet in the H stance. Put your head down. Put your ass down. Fight. See the difference. Lock out. Breathe. Come on, center pair. Put your feet up every block. Here, bend your knees down. Bend over at the hip. Lock it gun out. Fight me. Come on. Breathe out. Much better. See that. How many you got? Another thing we'll get to on the range, they've gotten to the point now where it's become silly boy and silly girl. Like everything else in this country, it's all about the pansies and everybody else. You can tell I'm not the softest, easiest guy in the world. Now they've even put in little things on there to tell you if they're in battery or if they've got a round in the chamber. FBI had been tracking this bank robbery team for quite a while. And they finally got a super hot hit. They found them. FBI's come flying out, jumping out of their cars, and the dude takes machine guns and just slaughters them. Okay, it's hard to defend yourself against a machine gun, trust me. So the cops were taking their revolvers, and they were dying. The cops that had the semi-automatic pistols were dying. Okay, cops don't train, cops qualify. So what they found is when they went to the scene, after the scene was done, and the FBI came in to study what the hell happened, they find that they're doing this. They're humans. They're thinking about their babies. They're thinking about their mom. They're thinking about, oh my God, am I going to get killed? This shooting me machine gun. I'm going to die in a second. So they panic. They blow their ammo out. They go Winchester immediately. And then they panic trying to get their guns loaded. Almost all people who have been killed in a gun battle, sustained gun battle, almost every single one of them has died because they could not feed the weapon. So now what you're going to do is you're going to load your magazine. Go ahead. Yeah. Then we'll teach you how to do it. When you come back off this battle, you learn to fondle your clip. Okay, you got to have a pretty close relationship with this handgun. So when you're coming back off the line, you simply just take your weak hand and fondle your weapon and pull this magazine out. Do not trust gravity. It will get you killed. You want to hear this noise. Perfect compared to what it was in January. This is the number one shot. Fire. 2 shot. Fire. 3 shot. Fire. 4 shot. Fire. Perfect example of a brand new guy getting killed. See that? Perfect example of a train wreck. See that? So they will get you killed. Here, what I'm doing is I'm just throwing the gun. Just see that? Tap it, rack it, bang it. We'll get to that later. So now what you want to do is you want to come up to a line, take it here, find yourself a target. Who on the gun range can say fire? You. Just me. Who can say stop? You. Anyone. Anyone. They can yell stop back there if they want to. Anybody can, you know, hold their hand up. They got an issue. Okay. I'm assuming most of you's nervous, because boy, I know I was for the first 15 years. Walk them back. Crime is not dictated by the weather, folks. So find your target. Spread out. Find your target. You're not going to shoot each other here. So what we're going to do, ma'am, will you point that muzzle down the range instead of the people beside you? Got it? Yep. That's why we got to trade this in and get you a revolver so it gets you killed.
Kevin, you want me to get her the revolver?
Yes, sir.
One.
Don't shoot yourself in the parking lot, buddy.
That's the bad thing.
Shooters ready?
Yes, sir.
Weapons ready?
Yes, sir.
Fire! Lean over where you're supposed to be at. Number 3, chest ready position. Shooters ready?
Yes, sir.
Weapons ready?
Yes,
Fire! Same drill. New gun will get you killed. Jesus Christ, that thing must have a 40-pound spring on it. You try it. I wouldn't have this gun if you give it to me. And they take this back gun store. Good job. Hell yes. Thank you. Did you shoot it?
No, not yet because. Okay, same way.
Same deal. Same deal. Same deal. Just finger off a trigger. Just step up here. Up there. Up here. Up here. Up here. See, now try it. Just finger on the trigger, your brother. Thank you. Thank you. What are we doing here? We having dumbass attacks?
Yes, sir.
That's just what I'd say. I'd say we're working on having a dumbass attack here. You only shoot when the instructor tells you to pull the trigger. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Number 1 position. Fire. Right. Weapons should be locked open, should be safe. Is that right? Yay! Okay. All right. Let's take a look at your targets. Come on up here. Let's take a little peek here and see what we get.
Okay.
That's an excellent shooting. What are you shooting, a 40?
Yes, sir.
It's outstanding. 1, 2 off. Outstanding shooting. It's a horrible shooting. It's an outstanding shooting. Okay. So you're doing real good now. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a step back and we're going to do the same thing. Where is your revolver? Or your pistol?
In my car.
Okay, let's get your pistol and we'll start shooting it.
Get the sheet 4 rounds.
I want to get back on that.
Get back on the other one.
semi. So it needs broken in. Same drill. Load your gun up with 1 round.
Stop! It didn't go off.
Doesn't surprise me. Who's buy this thing? You had to use it to protect yourself or your child or your somebody.
See, they were still in the same.
Just put that thing away. I don't want it out here anymore. Finger off the trigger. So make your weapons ready. 20 rounds total. You have to have 85% inside those marks. Put this muzzle down. When I say fire, you're on your own. The faster you go, the more mistakes you're going to make. It's just like Wise Earp said, don't get in any hurry to go die. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start doing tactical shooting. We're going to get busy so you'll quit freezing. Okay, we'll start warming up. So what you need to do is you need to have all your magazines loaded. As soon as you're done shooting, you better be loading ammo.
How's it going?
It's a little cold, but good.
Yeah, I hear that. How do you like that revolver?
It's a little easier to load, but I don't like shooting it as well as the other.
Come on. Come on, I told you to be ready. Come on, get up here. Let's go. Come on. You're holding up the glasses. Just get up here. Come on. You're bringing me down, man. Don't bring me down.
I think it's going well. Happy to qualify and not be kicked out.
Okay. How about you?
It's going well. Yeah. Have a good time.
Having fun?
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Come on up. Okay. What you're going to do now is you're moving into tactical shooting. Okay. There might be more than one bad person. So what you'll do now is from now on is you'll do what's called sweep and scan. So watch this. I shoot him. Then I sweep it. My chest ready. Then I scan. Because you're looking for the bad person. Fire. Number 3 position. I just told you 3 to 4. 3 to 4. Fire.
time. You lose yours too?
I'm not sure if I did 3 or 4 or 5.
Ooh, gun's broke.
Yeah, I should have done one more.
We'll get fun now.
What are you doing, ass?
Yeah, make them do a weave.
Oh yeah.
This just shows you how easy it is for a bullet to go through the side of a piece of property. So take a peek. It's a 9mm round right here. That's a 9mm. That's what most of us shoot it. And that bullet can keep on going and go all the way to Millfield or Chansey from here. Put your gun in your right hand right now. Everybody's nuts to butts. The girls don't count, but it's like this. Hop in line here. Hop in line right here. 2 shooters right here. Now take your gun and hold it up. Now you got 2 minutes to hold it steady. You watching, John, watching. Fire. I don't have keys. I don't know where they're at. Sort of right. Okay, what you're going to do now is you're going to do side-to-side shuffle. Okay, watch me in practice. Step off, step back. Step off, step back. Fire. Fire. Okay, and our last drill is called the Mad Minute. So the Mad Minute is what you do is if they come at you, you just hit them, bang, stop, and you pull that gun out, you ghost them. Ghost them. In other words, you turn them into a ghost. You with me on that? Fire! Stop! So what'd you get out of that class?
A lot of safety and don't buy a new gun.
All right, so we have taken you through a tremendous amount of stuff in a few short hours. You got tested a lot today in the cold weather. You were shaking, you were freezing, you were uncomfortable, your gun was uncomfortable. You had a hell of a time even trying to get them loaded. All of you were shaking, 2 of you shaking like dog shit and razor blades in here. You got to control that. That is your emotions running totally out of control. You have to get that in check. Because what are you going to do when they hit you right in the fucking mouth when you least expect it? When you walk around the corner, when you walk behind your car, when you come out of Bob Evans and someone's standing there screaming at you, and he's like, motherfucker, give me this money right now, and if you don't, bam, bam, right against the side of your head. What are you going to do when you're in the shootout? You're going to break down. You're going to piss your pants. You're probably going to shit your pants. You're going to cry like a baby. You're going to drop your gun. You're going to crawl like a coward. You're going to scream and holler like a little baby. That's what you're going to do. What you see on TV and what you see in the movies is not what it's like. Okay, that's not what it's going to be like. It's going to be the most horrific thing that's ever happened to you. You're going to be scared. You're going to be worse scared at any time in your entire life, ever, unless you've been in combat. There's nothing that can convey to you the fear. You're going to fall down. You're going to run. You're going to crawl as fast as you can. You might start hollering for your mom. Then you're either going to get punched, kicked, hit with something. You're going to be on the ground. You've got 7 seconds to do it. It's going to be at nighttime, and they're going to be within 7 feet of you. That's when it goes down. Okay? So, we're at the gas station. And you pull in the gas station. and you go in the gas station to give the person the money for the gas. You have a concealed carry on you. You come out and you see somebody inside the car in the passenger side, halfway in, beating on her. So you immediately go on hyper. Your nose opens up, your eyeballs open up, your ears pop open, your throat opens up, your heart starts telling, well, the brain tells the heart, you need to get going because I need blood, I need a lot of blood moving in the extremities now. Okay. Then what else happens is the nerves on the outside of your body shut down. First two layers are shut off, brain shuts them off. Okay, that's so the body can take the trauma. Okay. If you're aware, then the hair will stand up on you and you'll know it. Okay. So the brain does that to us. Now all of a sudden we're walking from me to you. 7 foot, 7 seconds. See that? Somebody's inside the car beating on your partner, whoever's in there, your baby, whatever. You got a concealed carry on you. What do? You've been trained. You did what Kevin told you to do and you continued to train. Okay? You got all this knowledge, now you got to act. Do you have to pull the gun? So you go up, and as you walk up, and 7 foot away, here he comes running at you. Right out the side. Starts screaming at you. Cusses like I do, but just much, much worse. Screaming at you. What the f*** are you doing? Excuse me? She's screaming her head off. The 3-year-old baby, he's pulling her out the window by the hair. I don't know if any of you got kids in here. You know, maybe she's trying to pull that little grandchild out the front seat of your car. Because all she wants to do is buy a $4 balloon of heroin. That's all she wants. But she knows you got the money. See? So now you got her beating on this whatever, and you got this guy standing here screaming at you. Okay? Next thing you know, bam, boy, you've been hit side the head. Has your life been threatened?
Oh, yeah.
You fear for your life?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do now? You pull your gun out. You pull your gun out. You step back. State of Ohio says you must prove regression. Page 26 of this blue book. It says you must prove regression. You must prove it.
Is that outside of the house or the house as well?
Anywhere in the state of Ohio.
Okay.
You must prove regression. What does regression mean in the state of Ohio?
Backing up.
Other page says the Castle Doctrine. You can use deadly force to protect yourself, your family, or others. One page says you must prove you left. Next page says you must de-escalate the conflict. Next page says you don't have to do any of this. You damn well better read this book from the Sheriff's Department before you go get your license. One page says don't do this. One page says don't do this. One page says go right ahead and do it because you have Castle Doctrine. So how do you get around that? How on earth do we as armed citizens of the state of Ohio, how do we get around all that silly boy nonsense? We do exactly what we did on Mad Men. We just yell stop, you take one step backwards, that's it. You prove regression. Didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You prove regression. What'd you do, sir? Step backwards. What'd you do? I said stop. Did you try to de-escalate? Yes, sir. What'd you do? I said stop. Did you leave the scene? Yes, sir. Step backwards one time. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Why'd you shoot him? I feared for my life. Why'd you shoot him? I had a right to in the state of Ohio because he was harming her. It was serious harm. Serious bodily harm. You have to read this manual. You have to commit it to memory. You have to be able to quote it if you get in trouble with the law for shooting somebody. Then you're on the jury trial all of a sudden. They'll say, why did you shoot this person? Now, what kind of ammunition do you have in your gun, ma'am?
9mm.
Well, yeah, but according to us, you have some kind of special stuff called P+P. Why'd you have to have that? You're sitting on the jury box and they're burning your ass up and they say, how many clips, how many magazines do you have for that gun? Didn't I see you pack a big old magazine around here?
Yeah, that's a, that one has 22.
That attorney will tear you up. You just lost your Cadillac. You just lost your job. Okay? You had to sell your portfolio to get money to hire the attorney. You needed $50,000. You got a $40,000 truck out here. You had to sell it tomorrow. You sold that truck for $20,000, so you could at least get the guy money up to pay the attorney. You see what I'm coming from? Now you got to sell your guns. Now you got to sell your furniture. You know, now you got to sell your house. Now you got to go to your parents, or your godparents, or brothers, or sisters. You got to have a place to live. And the only thing you did was trying to protect yourself. See that? See that? Do you stay at the scene or do you split?
You stay.
You just leave your house. Okay? You leave the scene, you leave the venue. You go calm down. You know, what time is it? Where am I at? What have I just done? Where's my gun? Where's my ammo? What happened to me? Then you call your attorney and say, I just used my legal handgun in self-defense because I had great fear of my life. I have people every week saying, Kevin, you scared the living shit out of me. I didn't make this shit up. I've been all over the world training. I've been all over the United States training. I've trained with some of the best in the country. That's a problem in this country, that we don't teach this stuff anymore. There's no need of it.
Or we say this weapon that's handy can only be used by the police, like a baton or
Sure.
billy
Stick.
club.
I'm armed 24/7. You know, it's a knife, a stick, an ink pen, a gun. I don't go anywhere. You know, I got a lot of enemies. I piss a lot of people off. Okay, you got about 20 minutes to see your test. There's a test in your packet from the NRA.
So the class ended, and I had learned a lot. But the character of Kevin Martin intrigued me. I decided to talk to him about his life.
Neil, where'd I put that box at, man? Right in my pocket. I started the first one in the state. Been teaching ever since. Then when I got sick, I took a little break and then got right back into it in 2009. I got cancer. Got throat cancer and just about killed me. Tried to kill me. And that was a rough battle. That was the roughest battle I've ever been in. And like I've told a lot of people, Bondo is what kept me alive. After they started the chemotherapy treatment, after they started the radiation, I had to have something to hold on to. And, you know, I didn't have anything. You know, you think about your baby being born, you think about being married, or you think about the first girl you're with, or first drag race you're with. But there's nothing beyond that. There's nothing concrete. There's nothing to hold on to. And so I'm laying there inside that machine getting zapped every day. And after the third day, I thought, you know, Kevin, you better get in your closet. You know, because G always said that the only way to do the forms is to be inside the closet, and you have to be able to see the form and to be able to recreate it. Dr. G always said that the only way you can properly learn how to do a form is you had to be able to see the form in your mind, and then to go through the form, movement by movement. This is the block, this is strike, this is return strike, this is thrust, this is a grab, this is a choke, and this is choke out. So there's six techniques inside that set. That's what then kept me sane. That's what then kept me together. I couldn't, you know, as soon as I come out of the machine, they come and get me, and I'd be puking all the way to Athens. I'd be laying in bed and puking, and you know, very next morning I'm back. You know, right back. 44 days, that stuff. So the disciplined way, the way of the warrior, the way of Bondo is what kept me alive. If I had not have had it, I'd have died. My surgeon told me I had a 65% chance of dying. I was raised up in a very strong-willed hillbilly family, and it was clean, 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 clean. Add to, my grandmother had 18 kids.
Wow.
And so you didn't have a second to let shit get out of control.
What did you do after you got out of the military?
Spun around in circles. I was nuts. I was absolutely just 100% nuts in the head. I was married at that time, and that was a very, very difficult time in my life.
I actually do not have a concealed carries. I wouldn't mind owning one. I wouldn't mind learning. I think with the gun restrictions going on, I mean, it's just like the drug battle. I mean, as much as they try to keep it off the street, they'll never keep drugs off the street. They always find a way to keep them in, to bring them in, to sell them. Same thing for guns. If they take a gun off the street, somebody by the next day will have a gun, bring a gun, and they'll never stop it.
First, I was scared of him until I'd shot him a couple times, and then I had felt more comfortable with the gun than I did pepper spray. I think as long as you go through the course and take the test, that you should be fine to be able to carry a concealed weapon. There's a lot of people that probably shouldn't, I guess, depending on their background, like psychotic history or some sort. I don't think that they should be able to, but the other people, I think they have all right to.
This is one of the articles here when they named me as one of the top knife instructors in the country. Right here. This is tactical knife. Oh, and then here's another tactical knife article about me that they wrote. You know, same question, how many of you ever been in a knife fight? How many have ever been in a fist fight? I ask everybody in my classes. They all want the knife to become them or the gun to become them, but they've never been in a fist fight. Mumbly peg and stretch them and chicken, excuse me. I played all those games with razor sharp knives. I thought every kid did that. After I got out of here, I went to service and I traveled all over the world. Well, not all over the world, but the Mediterranean, the Far East, and in the Mid-East. And every time I get into a different country, I sought out knife stores, sword stores, Revere sword stores, just places that sold this stuff. And then I'd ask in English, which they didn't speak, and I didn't speak their language, about some sort of a class or an instructor, somehow trying to communicate. So I was very fortunate each one of the countries I went to, I found somebody that would show me something regardless of a single technique. Then I'd buy something, hopefully, to bring back to that country. And, I've been trained in Spain, Portugal, Italy, Sicily, Turkey, Greece, Panama, and all those places I was fortunate enough to, to get someone to show me some fighting technique. Now, when I came back home in the mid-'70s, I went back to the Marshfield where I was from, and then I went back to study again with my great Uncle Ray, who started me in this stuff when I was 7 years old. And then he continued to advise me until he died. And then along came Bondo in 1984, and I stayed with Bondo until 1998. And then I trained for 9 years as a disciple under Dr. G. G was a young college student sent here to America in the late 50s. Now this would have been the Marlon Brando, James Dean type of time of America on the waterfront. Where white guys were tough and carrying switchblades and stuff. And so, story goes from the first black belt, he's still alive, by the way, and he said that G ran by and they were calling him names. I think they were calling him Slant-Eyed and Gook, I think, from whatever was being used out of Korea at that time. And so he stopped and one of them challenged him, and G did something, some sort of a martial technique. I don't remember exactly what he did. But he did something and knocked this guy off his feet. This guy was a big guy like me. G just barely touched him and just knocked him through the air. So a couple other guys ran up, and G put them down just about as fast. And then he left. He ran. He came back a couple of days later and stopped off and wanted to play basketball with them, and they decided maybe they better play basketball instead of getting beat up again. 1996 Bondo Nationals, that was the last time I competed. for the Mondo. I'm bragging here. That's a first place medal I won. I think I was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 45, 47 years old. That's the ammunition ship I was on in Vietnam. USS Butte AE-27.
I gotta leave at 6:30.
Okay, we'll hustle. I mean, Nell won't be here till 6:30 anyway, so.
I have been the victim of violent crime 6 different times. I was a manager for a restaurant, manager for a fast food restaurant. I owned a franchise to a gas station, and I was robbed at all of those places. When I started to hear about concealed carry, I thought it might be a good time to pursue that. Did you get your check, Kevin?
Yes, sir, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then the second program we had was the open forum, more or less, it was open presentation. It wasn't a forum, it was an open presentation of what Hilltop Gun Club was thinking about the recent killing of those children in Connecticut. And so we were able to secure the library, a small room. And it was interesting that the same day as the lecture, I got a phone call from a messenger of the library, and she said, now don't be mad at me, but are you going to be bringing any kind of flags to the library?
Flags.
Flags.
F-L-A-G-S.
Yes, and I immediately called her back and I said, are you implying that we're Nazis or we're skinheads or KKK? I guarantee you one thing, if we could open that gun range up April 1, I'll bet you we would have 300 customers or more in the first month. I honestly feel we'd have that many people.
Well, that would be great.
I honestly feel we'd have that many people. There's no gun range other than Marietta or Zanesville or down to Zalaski.
There's a lot of guns.
There's a lot of people more than ever right now looking to shoot too.
Yeah.
Right now.
So what do you think about it?
If I had money, I mean, I don't know. People that I talk to, yeah. I mean, I'm always asking around where people shoot and stuff. All the people at work. I mean, everybody at work's got 10 guns.
Right now, it's very sickly, you know, and it's on the top of everybody's mind right now to be exercising the rights to shoot. So we need to offer them an opportunity, a venue. Yeah. Anybody else have anything to talk about before we close up?
No.
How about you? You and I's got business to do.
Yep.
To bring the driver's license.
Yep.
Here's the stuff right here.
My space guns?
Got space gun, you got 2 space.
We want you to explain to us what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the little pistol-looking job.
Tell us about this thing here.
This thing, the reason I got this thing mostly wanted it is because it's got such a weird mechanism I've never seen before. There's no slide on it. It's all internal. This is the charging handle, and then this is the if you get a failure to fire, that'll just reset the pin. And I just being a mechanical engineer, always interested in the way things work.
Wow. Noah is the man, isn't he?
Yes. That's why I asked him to come on the board.
I am a graduate student of mechanical engineering at Ohio University. I spent 6 years in the United States Navy after I graduated from high school, and got my bachelor's here as well. And I plan on sticking around in the area because I like it here. I've exercised my right to obtain a concealed carry permit for a firearm. A lot of places I think are becoming concealed carry friendly because they realize that the concealed carry holders are not the people they have to worry about. If someone tried to disarm the United States entirely, I would probably fall on the side of the people who would fight that. It's hard for me to say.
I wondered, if I video the class again, will Kevin emphasize other aspects of the mindset he tries to instill in his students? Turned out he did, with variations.
All right, so why did you come here?
husband wanted me to.
Does he want to be here?
I need practice.
You like guns?
Yep.
How about you? What do you want to be here?
Basically just more safety.
How about you?
I was a military policeman for a couple years in the Navy, and I want to take responsibility for my own protection. And I've had one of those phone calls where the wife comes and says, you need to come home now.
How about you?
Being able to protect myself and my family.
How about you?
It's the same thing. I just back operations and I can't protect me or my wife anymore in the conventional ways I used to.
If they open that up and they say, okay, we're allowed to check your mental health records now. You ain't gonna be able to have no guns. See, because we're combat veterans. Immediately, done. Can't have the guns. See that? You got bad back, you can't have the guns. See that? You got a little anxiety, so you eat Xanax, can't have the guns. See? So, you know, you people, if you've never been politically active, you need to learn how to be. I called Sheriff Brown Wednesday. I talked to a girl up there, and I said, honey, I ain't sporting. I don't want to sport this stuff. I get an email back the next day from Sheriff Brown. And then he's like, I support your right to hunt and Second Amendment. However, I don't support the ability to have guns that will shoot law enforcement officers. And I tied back. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Of course, I didn't get a reply. I'm a Democrat, by the way. The Obama administration is chipping around the tree, little bits here and there. See, eventually, their idea is to knock the Second Amendment over.
Yeah, just like beavers.
That's right. That's what they are. They're beavers. Those politicians are stupid. Simple as that. Okay. Really are. They said, okay, we're not going to let them buy the Sudafed now, so we'll put the Sudafed over to the pharmacy. Well, you can only buy one box a day. Okay. Now you got some 18-year-old or 38-year-old that's picking the spiders out of the skin and standing there looking at you. You know, and they got 4 teeth in their head. And they got tattoos all over them. I mean, come on. You know, and you'd think the pharmacist after the second or third time would say, well, now, bud, I can't sell you no more. They found 3 meth labs. And when you think of lab, what do you think when I say lab? What's it mean to you?
The lab.
Beakers and people in white coats and safety glasses. No.
2-liter plastic bottle.
That's it. You know, it's a plastic bottle. It's this. You know, it's a cooler. That's a laboratory. You know, just throw in the diabetes strips and throw in the Sudafed, throw in a little bit of rubbing alcohol and mix this shit up and boil the toilet trouble, and then you tweak for 4 or 5 days. Here's a sweet one here. I think you'll pay attention to this one.
Yeah, she's my cousin.
What?
She's my cousin.
Oh my God. What else you see on this page?
Kids.
The next time they arrest her cousin because she's shooting heroin and she just stole your grandmother's diamonds, all she has to say is, I'm on drugs, I'm on alcohol, or I'm on both, and then they definitely cannot send them to prison. So you need to think about this. Really, really, really. When you get done here by 8 o'clock tonight, your head's going to be whirling around. Like, my God, man, I can't comprehend all this stuff. Pat Kelly says that he thinks, I like Pat. Pat's as full of shit as a Christmas goose, but he's a hell of a lot better sheriff than we had. And Pat says that he thinks that about somewhere in the neighborhood of about 35% of Athens County is f***ed up on something. See, we got a lot of stuff against us now. See? And then we have the law that says, okay, if you're going to pack this, you know, do this. So when I tell you now, when I say you better shoot them down and kill them, I'm thinking you're starting to connect the dots. Okay.
Looking for the lawnmower gang. Which way they mow?
My definition of gun control is being able to hit your target. I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
The only person I trust to protect me is me. Dixie. Buddy Bones. Kevin and I, we've known each other for quite a long time. We have a lot of common thoughts and ideas. The dynamic shooting tactics that we did out to the range, I've done practically all of them in one form or another throughout my life. He loves the training, and he likes imparting knowledge, but he also likes to show people what a badass he is. You know, that when I was able to, so did I. You know, we're kindred spirits, Kevin and I. That's how Kevin and I met. Oh. Dr. G and Dale Miner. I run with the bad dogs. You know, but they did it like professionally, and I did it for fun. I did it because I enjoyed it. I enjoy scrapping. The reason that I wanted to get my concealed carry permit was because at this point in my life, you know, I'm at a slight disadvantage. I've been shot a few times, you know, in confrontation. I guess I was a redneck, and there was just some inner city punks, African American. We started giving me grief. I don't take shit from nobody. I didn't do nothing to them, and I tried to talk them out of it. I couldn't convince them to leave me alone. We started fighting. Once they saw how bad they were at fighting, one of them decided he'd just go pull it and take his gun and shoot me. That really pissed me off.
Holy shit. And then what happened?
I took the gun from him and beat the shit out of him. And then I did what Kevin said we should do in a situation like that with the concealed carry. You know, if you shoot somebody or kill somebody, leave. I didn't kill him. I just beat the shit out of him and left him laying on the street, sidewalk. And I just threw the gun down and left. At the hospital. I like to arm wrestle too. On a Friday night, you know, these are timber cutters. I had a bunch of their money and they didn't like it. So they wanted to say, hey, you want some moonshine? I'm from Virginia. Hell yeah, I'll have moonshine. Mm-hmm. I got some moonshine out of my truck. Let's go out and get some. There's 3 of them behind me and 2 of them in front of me. And we walked out, and one guy in the lead opened up the door of his truck and flipped the seat forward. And I reached behind there, and I thought he was just going to get a jar of moonshine. I go, well, I was paying attention to that. One of the 3 behind me got a tire tool out of the bed of the truck, bashed me in the back of the head with it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the fight was on. The last guy, the guy that was reached behind the seat, I found out actually he got a gun. But, you know, when these 4 buddies were taking a gravel nap in the parking lot, he decided that he was going to shoot me instead of trying to fight me. So he shot me.
Okay.
Before I could, he got 1 shot off, that one, before I could get hold of the gun.
Wow.
Get it away from him. And I told him to take a dirt nap. And the cops came, the sheriff showed up, and they asked me who it was who shot me. I said, I don't know. All you white guys look alike to me. Little 9mm tattoo. And I had long dreadlocks back then.
Okay, yeah.
The cops are far away. I'm kind of remote. My driveway is obnoxious, so I don't think a cop car could even get up it. And I travel a lot too. The people who are taking this class, they can get their permit. They're accepting responsibility for their own protection. If you're going to be be individualistic, it's kind of almost, you know, government, at least liberal government, wants to suppress it because they're all into collectivism and all of that. Collectivism is like an ant hive or a beehive. Everybody is a little cog in a machine and they work for the greater good. whether or not that ultimately benefits them. Usually it doesn't. Usually it's to their detriment. Stop infringing. Leave me the hell alone. I'm a responsible gun owner. I'm not going to walk into a school and massacre a bunch of people. I have the right to keep and bear arms. The last time I checked, the Department of Homeland Security defines those people as potential domestic terrorists or something. Like if you're a military veteran, you're conservative, then you're bad and evil and you need to be watched.
Yeah, it's a good class. I mean, he's going through some stuff pretty good, opening some eyes up of stuff that I really didn't think of before. You watch the news so much nowadays and you see all these crazy people out there, and you see the victims out there, and you know, I don't want to be a victim. This country's founded on freedom, so you know, we ought to have the freedom to make the choice of whether we're carrying a gun or not. All these criminals out there, they're not taking this class. They have no need to take this class. They're going to do what they want to anyhow. And that's something I could never figure out, is the little signs on people's doors, you know, that tell you that, you know, you can't carry in here, and all that's doing is telling the criminal element that, you know, no one inside's got a gun, so just come on here and do what you want to do.
Probably the couple that left, they're probably the same way. They're probably praying or something now, trying to bring forgiveness to Kevin for shocking them. These guns are hot. As soon as you put that magazine in that gun, and as soon as that slide flies, those guns are hot. Now trust me, when you guys up and shoot me, I'm going to kill you before you can breathe the next breath. Simple as that. I don't need to get any more stern than that. Take your magazine out, step back. About here where I'm at. Or in the case of Mike, you drive back. All right, put 5 rounds of ammo in your magazine. I want to hear yes sir, no sir. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Number 1 drills off the number 1 position. 1 shot off of the break. Fire. Finger off the trigger.
Sorry.
Number 2 position.
I click and nothing wants to happen on it.
God, man. Range draw hot. Put your hearing on. Range draw hot. What's wrong with it? I think that's called operator error. Operator. That's called operator error, son.
Yes, sir.
Make your weapons
All right,
ready.
Pop this in. This will be good.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
I don't know. Check it. See if you got a bullet in there.
How do you do
Ready.
that? How do you do that?
Pull back. See if there's one in there. No, so pull back.
Ready.
Damn good shooting.
What are you having trouble with?
Dude, you watched me. I pulled it back. You saw the round go in. I clicked. Nothing. It's like it comes to me. It don't want to work right.
Well, 2 things I've noticed. 1, you didn't have the gun in battery 2 different times. Okay, in battery. If it's sitting out here like this, it ain't gonna work.
Okay.
So you gotta check these things. These machines, son. You know, you put that magazine in there, and it's gotta be locked. It's gotta be locked.
Okay.
You gotta be violent to them.
Right.
See this? If you're not violent to them, then they ain't gonna work. See that? They're just not gonna work. See this? Put it in there, boom, then check it.
Okay.
Press check. Press check here, press check here.
Okay.
Let me teach you, listen to this, watch. See, she's not in battery. Look here.
Mm-hmm. That's probably what my problem was.
It's because you don't know. You don't know shit from shinola. What does shinola mean anyway? What's that mean? Shit from shinola.
Shoe polish.
Really? 3, 4, 4. Take the time. Take the time. This is gonna be fun for you, Hot Rod.
Yeah.
I
can't wait.
You're gonna do an aggressive fire. So you're gonna be driving with one hand and shooting with the other hand. That's what I want you to do. They take a step back, you yell fire, and you retreat tactically.
Okay.
Or is that tactfully?
I don't think it's tactful when you're throwing lead at
Could
them.
you be tactfully, tactically?
Possibly.
Fire!
Stop!
Fire! Thumb on the gun, work with arms. Thumb on the gun. We can't shoot him. We can't shoot him. Weak hand shooting. This is a strong hand. This is a weak hand. Yeah. Take your hand off this gun. Put it in a strong weak hand. Shoot the gun. Pay attention to the drill. Sometimes I'm here. I keep forgetting that you guys are down here. So I told him to quit showing emotions. He fell apart out here when I told him to get that gun up. You know, he had a stovepipe. I'm yelling at him to get the magazine out. He's f***ing pissing his pants. Simple as that. You cannot show emotions because as soon as you show emotions, you are immediately going to become the victim. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Predator will eat you up in a second. As soon as they see you starting to fall apart. As soon as they see you becoming apprehensive. You know, becoming stressed, having anxiety, having a panic attack. Then you melt down. That's it. We're going to eat you. So what was happening here with Neil? Neil was brand new to the game. Never touched a handgun, never shot a handgun until 4 weeks ago. So he gets frustrated because he can't do, but how in the f can you do if you ain't never done it? The nice thing is the students enjoy us shooting the ammo. Isn't that nice?
I'm just glad to see I upgraded from new meat.
But you're still new meat. You're
Wait,
below.
my nickname's changed.
You're amoeba.
You're new until we find someone new.
You two are still at the amoeba level. One of these days we'll graduate to earthworm or maybe pill bugs.
Yeah, but I ain't half bad. I'm a good kid. I work good.
Huh?
I said I'm not a bad kid. I work good.
Here you go.
I stay busy.
All right, here's your gun. Go ahead and make the gun loaded. Law in Ohio says you have to prove retreat. Okay? So what do? We just simply hit him, yell stop, and we hose him down. So what you're going to do is this. You're going to bam, and you're going to unload every single bullet you got in that gun. You want to get snuggy with it. Just one shot, just one hand. You're coming right off the number 6. It's going to be a ghost shot. You're going to put it right in his ghost and blow him down. Weapons ready?
Ready.
Students ready?
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 Fire!
Stop!
That being psycho.
Woo! Cut her in half.
Psychopath shit down.
Hell yeah!
Did you waste all yours?
You must thought he had that sword in there or something.
If you're gonna do it, do it.
Check this out. You can see the rifling of that barrel, the way that powder came out of there. Kevin.
Yeah, boy. Yes,
See
sir.
that? See the way the rifling is in that barrel, where that powder
you need to
came
keep
out
that.
of there? Hell yeah, that's
All right,
sweet.
so what we're going to do, you guys go ahead and get ready to shut down. We're going to give your targets to you. Neil, is this yours?
Yes, sir.
Take it with it.
Yeah, I'm proud of that one today.
Okay.
That's just like one of them BB gun things in the fair where you shoot the red star out.
Yes.
Clean?
I love those things. I'd spend every dime I had, quarters in there. Take that home with you. That's your target. Yep. Then we'll study your targets when we get back home. We're going to keep these, put them in the garage, and stick them over top of the front door so motherfuckers will know better. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, no worries.
You guys did an awful good job today. So one of the things we do is we pick up a brass because A, it's not polite to use somebody else's property and not clean up. B, it's just common sense of police and gun range, and often referred to as police or brass. And then C is we don't know what's going to happen in the future of America. And the person that owns the guns, the person that owns the ammunition, the person that has the components to make ammunition, the person is going to be in control. The government's not going to control we the people or the armed.
I secured the information required to keep my head above water concerning the impetus pushing Americans to exercise their legal right to carry a handgun concealed. Provocation, innuendo, demonization, marginalization, political manipulation, social engineering, and the reaction to the awareness of all of the above. Conclusion? Listen to Alex Jones at Infowars.com.